Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Monday. It's August 30th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And I thought I'd start by showing you the weekly chart. Actually, real quickly, too, next Monday is Labor Day holiday. No trading that day. I may take off a little early. I may take Friday off. I haven't made up my mind yet. I may take this Friday off along with that Monday and take a long weekend. But no chart lessons on Fridays anyway, so it won't make much difference as far as these videos go. But anyway, let's talk about today's chart. You can see the daily chart here. The first target I have was around 45.50, and we're real close to that. But we've got a secondary target of both of those legs, and I would also now look at a target from here to here and here to here, and both of those get us up there in that same area, 4,600. So I believe that's probably where we're headed. So we'll just have to see. It looks like this range is done and over now. We could pull back and test that again, but I'm guessing we're going to inch on up here. We may start going sideways, a little flatter here, because we're going to get into overbought territory if we keep shooting straight up. Doesn't mean we can't, but anytime you get above this purple line, there's a big chance of a quick sell-off. So we'll just have to see. That's what I'm looking at. The trend is still up for now. We had another big, strong up day right here, and we'll go over to the 2,000 tick chart. And here we are with the 2,000 tick chart. You can see it was clearly uphill. We topped out early though, 10 o'clock, and then we just went sideways from there. There wasn't much going. I don't see any reason to try to short this. There just weren't many. After 10 o'clock, there weren't many longs. One possible short late this afternoon. So even though it was another strong up day, you just didn't get a lot of opportunity to trade this. If you didn't catch this early, you didn't get much out of it. So, but let's talk about the trades. It won't take long to go through them. First trade I saw just after 7 o'clock. It's getting close to 8 o'clock here, but you've got a new low right here. So a first entry, and then we turned down their second entry, and it failed. So you could treat that like a failure. It's also a little double bottom. We tested that price level multiple times right across there. I like it as a failure to try to go long. Nice signal bar. Um, if you catch that one trade, that may be all you need today. Um, but anyway, we pull back. You get a first entry, and you pull back. You get a second entry. You could look at this trade. With that being an inside bar and not really having this trend line confirmed, you might draw it right there, but you don't know what you've got yet. So I think it's a little aggressive to go long right there. But you get a second entry right here. Uh, Technically this was a second entry, but it's still two legs back right here, and there's a triple test across here. And this is just a higher low really, because it's not really a second entry, even though it looks like one. Because technically, um, this is not a new high, and it's not quite a double top. So I would just look at this as a first entry, and then a second entry, and then a higher low right here. And you do have a new low right here, so you get a first entry short and a second entry short. That's a great reversal failure right there. Failed second entry short. I like going long there. It does pull back pretty quickly and gives you another nice bar right there off that trend line and off the EMA. But I don't know if I'd go long there. That's a possibility. That one probably should at least be green. But so you may enter again there. And then we're just running up this trend line. And you actually get a first entry, second entry, but this looks really sideways. So to me, that really only looks like a first entry. But the market's looking rather strong here again, and it's been really strong lately. So following the count being the second entry right off the trend line, you may take that trade. And you could look at this. You got a little bit of is a triple test there as well, although this is a little bit higher. If you put your line on there, you can see that we've bounced there a couple of times. They don't completely match, but and we didn't quite get back there, but that's because the EMA's there. We couldn't get through that EMA, so that's a good sign that we may go higher there. And this thing just takes off, and you really just don't get another opportunity to enter up here. All this is way too aggressive. If you notice that this is a strong trend, any of these signal bars that come back to that you get a break off the key, except for maybe that one. Notice you got 4 of them in a row, and that looks like congestion. You're way away from the EMA. It still would have worked. You would have had to ride this out, but it still would have worked. But just about any of these that came back and bounced off the trend line and went higher, you could have taken. So something to think about there. You could have looked at that as a second entry, but it's an inside bar and it doesn't make a new low. So I don't think it doesn't really qualify for an entry. You get another second entry here. Signal bar is no good. But then you get a higher low right here at the midline. So I like going long right there. And we just turn back down. First entry, second entry, and that is off the key entry point. I didn't mark that one. It's a little bit congestive, but it's definitely a second entry, and you could treat that like a failed breakout too. So that one should at least be green. The reason I don't like it red, making it blue, is because you're still in this downtrend channel, but it's right off the main key entry point. And you can see that that's really the first break we had of it, and we get a couple of legs up, and we turn down soon after. So you may take that one, but if you wait just a minute, you get a first entry, second entry here, and this really looks like, where is that other one? It looks a lot like this one here. And again, it's right at the key entry point. We do break outside here. This one's not a convincing break. It's we closed a couple of ticks out, but we came back and got another one. But if you look, there's really a couple of legs in this first leg, and then you get another leg with 2 legs. I don't think you want to sell up here. We didn't quite make a new high, I don't think. I think we only made a double top. I think it's yep, you can see we only made a double top there. Then you get a couple of legs down. That's just a first entry though. And by that time, this had actually moved up a little bit. Originally, I had it down here because of that one. That closed a little lower there, but you can see. Anyway, I had a interruption there, but I think we were talking about moving this support up, and you can see that. We tested it once. We tried to go higher again, and that's a failed second entry long. It's not a great setup. It is a failure, but it's the first break of the trend line working down, so you'd expect prices to try to make a new low, but you would expect the failure to be a good one and a reversal type to be setting up off the EMA. So I think it's a little aggressive, but I marked it. There's not a lot of trades today. Just we had a lot of movement early, but really by 10 o'clock, that was it, and we just kind of ran sideways the rest of the day. So not much happening. Kind of for such a bullish day, there's just not many entries and not a lot of movement. All the movement happened real early, and that was it. So anyway, not much else I can say about this day. So I'm just going to wrap it up, and hopefully we'll get a better day tomorrow. Well, let's have to see. But anyway, I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next.